He had some teeth issues, right? He was missing. They all look like Newport filters. They're like rotting out of his face, if I remember correctly.
I believe he has like a cracked tooth. If I'm
I remember Newport filters. Here's the thing: I wasn't into wrestling like you, so I
He was
only
Canadian, so I think he was missing a tooth at one point. I don't know. I could be thinking of whatever.
Canadians are pretty much like Timu English people, anyways. So
Yo, Temu is the cheapest shit. Don't buy from Temu.
that's what I just said. Canadians are Timu English people.
This fight is about facing myself.
I'm the highest version of myself. I know I am that I am.
Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of the Godspeed Podcast. What's up, D?
What up, Joe?
How you foul?
How you feel? How you feel? Do you remember that? You remember that night me, you, and Mike went out drinking? One of the very few nights we went out drinking, and you got so drunk, and you just started freestyling in the back seat.
Oh yeah, I do remember that.
To this day, right? You kept doing that. How you feel? Yeah, that. To this day, if I call my niece or nephew and go, they'll be like, "How you feel?"
Really?
That was
That's funny.
Probably 15 years ago.
Maybe even longer.
Yeah. Pretty cool.
God, man, I'm fucking 40 almost.
Elderly, bro. You're about to get your AARP card, whatever they call it.
That's okay. I feel like I'm 20.
You don't look a day over 75, so you're good.
What? So I was originally gathering this episode. It was going to be a WWF conspiracy episode, kind of like the rap conspiracy episode, where we just literally go through a whole bunch of conspiracies for that, genre of music. But it's just going to be a bunch of WWF conspiracies. But
couldn't bring yourself to do it. I know how much you love WWF.
No, I got on one conspiracy. I'm like, yo, this deserves a whole episode. So we're going to stick to just one conspiracy. I don't know if you've ever heard of him, but his name is Chris Benoit.
Oh yeah, he's part of. Hold on, because I'm losing you.
Okay, all right. So yeah, Chris Benoit.
Let me tell you what I know about Chris Benoit. He's French. Spent a lot of time in the French Quarter in Louisiana. He had some teeth issues, right? He was missing. They all look like Newport filters. They're like rotting out of his face, if I remember correctly. Part of the Four Henchmen. He was the rap group, the Four Henchmen.
No, dude, but you are. So your correctness is like right on the border.
So I'm close. I'm a
so
B plus right now.
He was brought into WCW as a Four Horseman, not a Four Henchman.
That's same thing.
And I believe he has like a cracked tooth.
I remember Newport filters. Here's the thing: I wasn't into wrestling like you, so
He was Canadian, so I think he was missing a tooth at one point. I don't know. I could be thinking of whatever.
Canadians are pretty much like Timu English people, anyways. So,
yo, Temu is the cheapest shit. Don't buy from Temu.
That's what I just said. Canadians are Timu English people.
Gotcha. Wow.
So his teeth are probably fucked. Sorry, English people that watch this.
My teeth are fucked.
Well,
and I'm American.
Yeah. Well, you have. Well, I don't know.
I didn't give a fuck about my teeth for so long. I don't want to talk about this anymore.
Okay.
All right. So you do kind of know what Chris Benoit is.
Yeah, he's a French guy.
Do you remember what he is Canadian? But do you remember what he did?
Hold on. There's a rat terrier.
Chihuahua barking.
Going off in the house. He murdered his best friend's wife and kids.
No. He allegedly murdered his wife and kid. Allegedly.
I was just throwing that out there. Boy, wow. I'm hitting dingers today, bro.
I feel like you did some research. But
I did.
There's no way you knew we were doing this episode because I didn't hint at it at all.
That's my point.
Okay.
That's my point, bro.
So I have videos today, but I did a lot of reading, like a lot of like the police report and shit like that, and like things that like inconsistencies and shit like that.
Okay. So you're
but-
saying smells like a setup?
Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah.
Oh, I like.
Yeah.
I'm now you're fishing with some real live bait now.
All right,
Now you might have me hooked right here.
All right, we'll just start it here.
Okay.
Detective/Sergeant Mundy asked Holly Shrever to only kennel the dogs and then exit the residence. Prior to approaching the residence, Holly Shrever attempted to contact the Benoits by telephone without success. Sergeant Mundy stated Holly Shrever took the dogs inside to place them in their kennels, and a short time later exited the residence screaming that the family was dead.
So that was the neighbor. The cops went to the house. An official from WWE called the cops and said one of our wrestlers is missing,
Okay.
and gave him the address and stuff like that, and said that the cops showed up and there was 2 German Shepherd dogs, and they didn't want to enter the property because they didn't want to get fucked up because the German Shepherd will fuck you up. Nah, Gunner's nice.
Yeah, dude, the German Shepherd here is the biggest little sweet baby angel ever.
Yeah, I know.
Might lick you to death, but look out.
Yeah, exactly. So they asked the neighbor to kennel the dogs and then leave the property immediately. Just put the dogs in their kennel and come out. She didn't do that. Apparently, after she checked out the house and stuff like that, she came out running, saying that they're dead. But here's more about that.
Sergeant Mundy and Lieutenant Alden asked Holly Shrever to stay in the driveway as they entered to secure the residence. Mundy advised when they entered the home, they immediately detected an odor they believed to be that of a deceased human. Looking back at the supplemental report, now you guys see more of why I stated that there would have been a foul odor. And again, I was questioning why Holly didn't complain about it. You know, Holly seemingly didn't come across it. Deputies then stated that they made their way to Daniel Benoit's upstairs bedroom using Holly Shrever's directions. Now, if Holly was so traumatized and bewildered after seeing the deceased body of a young boy, not to mention a young boy who she knew belonged to some of her closest friends that she described Chris Benoit as on the 911 call, why is she still coherent enough to be guiding, deputies and officers in and out of the house? Why was she even willing to go back inside the house? It just doesn't add up. Now, I would like to mention a bit of a trigger warning before I mention this next part, so please proceed with caution and be aware. Sergeant Mundy advised they located Daniel Benoit's body lying face down in his bed. Mundy advised they made their way back to the home office above the garage where they located the body of Nancy Benoit in the floor. Mundy advised they checked the basement area last, and this is where they observed the body of Chris Benoit hanging from a piece of home gym equipment. However, if we go back into the police...
Oh, no, my mom came in. I was just saying hi. Hold on, they said he was hanging from a home gym equipment?
Yep.
Like he was doing pull-ups or around the neck?
There's inconsistencies. There's 3 different stories of... There's 3 different versions of what cops saw. One was him slouched on it like he was placed there. Another, he was hanging from it. And then another, he was on the ground. 3 different stories of him killing himself.
Okay.
Yep.
These files leading up to this point, the supplemental case report tell a different story as they say the male referring to Chris Benoit was located in the basement sitting in an upright position. So which one really was it? Just another question that I would like answers to. Once the residence was secured, Mundy and Lieutenant Alden reported their findings and requested investigators to respond. Upon Detective Harper's arrival at 130 Green Meadow Lane, he found a closed electric gate at the roadway. The driveway entrance was a design made of rock and metal. He crossed over the fence at the roadway to enter the property. So there you have it. We finally have answers as to how the authorities and the neighbor were getting in and out of the Benoit house after reading several different reports. We finally got it from Detective Harper. So yeah, you can literally climb over this fence. The detectives as well as the neighbor were climbing over this fence. They were climbing over the fence. And you're going to tell me that there's no possibility of a third party being involved with how easy this fence was to climb over?
The neighbor... so here's Chris Benoit's father talking about the neighbor after the death.
We certainly were aware, or have been made aware of some issues that he was having from some neighbors and that, of some strange behavior that was going on.
So he only had one neighbor. It's that same neighbor, the Holly chick. So she was having issues with the Benoit, or the Benoits were having issues with her apparently. But she told the police that they were like really, really great friends and all this other shit. But here's the neighbor the day of on a 911 call.
Hey, County 911, what is your emergency?
Hi, the cops came to my house, and I just want to make sure that they're okay because they sent me over to my neighbor's house.
What's your address?
I'm at 110 Green Meadow Lane, and they asked me to hop the fence because they have attack dogs, and I went in, and someone hit the little boy and the mom are dead, and so I ran out to scream to them, but then they went in the house, and they haven't come out yet. Are they okay?
Okay, hold on just a moment.
I know where the controls are, but I'm not going in there until Garrett. Tell the cops to come this way.
Okay, ma'am.
Did the cops call it?
Listen to me. What did the cops tell you to do?
They told me because this guy's a professional wrestler and I'm friends with him, and they said, "Can you go put the attack dogs in the kennel?" And I did that.
Attack dogs.
And then I went upstairs. Everything was open, so I was yelling, "Nancy, Daniel," that's the little boy. And I went up to Daniel's room, and he'd been killed. And then I went up to Nancy's, where she sits to watch TV, and she had been strangled and had tape on her face. And then I didn't see Mr. Benoit. I don't know where he is. I didn't want to go down in the basement for some reason.
Okay, ma'am.
He might be there. Oh, now there's more cops here. But those cops...
Ma'am, listen to me. What did the cops tell you to do? Did they tell you to go to the neighbor's house?
Yes. And
okay.
Now they came when I said everyone's been murdered, and they went in the house, and I said I looked in every room but the basement, and they went in the basement, and now they haven't come back out.
Okay, listen to me. Listen, we have got contact with our cops. But if
they're okay?
Ma'am, our cops are okay.
They're okay.
But if they told you to go to the neighbor's house, you need to stay over there, okay?
No, I'm here. I'm right outside the Benoit's house. No, I mean, they just said stay here in the driveway. I just got nervous because they never came back out.
Have contact with your SO people that went in the basement.
Okay, they do. She's talked to the cops in the house. Okay.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I was nervous that he might be in there and do something to them. I just don't know what.
So she already created a narrative that he's the psychopath that did it, and she never saw him, never found his body.
Right.
Didn't hear him anything, just saw them and just assumed he went nuts and killed them. On the reports, she was also said to be found in 3 different spots, not laying in 3 different rooms. Supposedly she was found in. They didn't find tape on her face, and this is all from the report. They didn't find tape on her face, but they did find tape in a cloth with hair attached to it in a trash can. So she saw tape on her face, but there was no tape on her face. She was just decomposing. And so the original story was that she was killed Friday, the son was killed Saturday, and he killed himself Sunday. Her bedroom, the room that she was killed in was 82 degrees, which sped up the decomposing process. Right. The kid's room was 72 degrees. So she was killed before him, but on the report, it's saying that he was killed before her. So that means Chris Benoit killed his wife on Friday, killed his son on Saturday, killed his son on Friday, killed his wife on Saturday, and then killed himself on Sunday. So he's walking around for a full weekend while his kid is smothered in the bed. And if you, we're going to go through, we'll watch a couple wrestlers later on where they say all he did was talk about his wife and kid. He fucking loved his wife and kid. All he talked about was his son. You know what I mean? So you're going to kill your son on a Friday, leave your wife around until Saturday, kill her, and then kill yourself on Sunday. And the way he killed himself, he had, the plates on a big machine weight bench. They have the plates, right?
45s, yeah.
Yeah. So he tied the shit around his neck, and then he put dumbbells on top of the plates also to make it heavier, and then he was holding 2 50-pound dumbbells in his arms to make it heavier so it'll choke him easier. How are you doing all of that? You're pulling a pin, holding 45-pound dumbbells, dude. Those are fucking heavy dumbbells. And
For
that's
some
how
people.
that's how you're killing yourself?
Yeah, because your body's first reaction isn't to
Save
live.
yourself.
Right? No matter what you do, your body you can't override that instinct. I don't care who you are.
And there's no possible way that weight bench hung him up in the air because he was like 206 pounds and there was only like 210 pounds of weight that was on him, I guess. So it didn't break his neck or anything like that. There was no bones broken in his neck. It literally strangled him. But he's not going to drop the 2 dumbbells and fucking like, he's a fucking... Also, he's holding 2 45-pound dumbbells, but he had like 2 different types of drugs in his system that make you like, you know what I mean? Like out of it. You know what I mean?
Opioids?
Yeah. So did the son had drugs in his system, and so did the wife. Like that type of put you to sleep type of fucking drugs. There was beer cans down in the basement. There was a wine bottle, a random fucking wine bottle, and crushed up beer cans in the trash can. There was no alcohol in his system at all. That day, the Friday, they had a fucking cookout on that Friday. There's a receipt from her going to like Sprouts or some shit, and it's signed by her. Like she used a credit card and signed the fucking receipt. Right. They found the receipts for that day, and it was like all cookout stuff, like food and drinks and shit like that. They had a pool guy come that fucking Friday, and the pool guy said that he saw Chris and his son both in the pool, fucking in their trunks and shit, and they had fucking friends over and shit, and all the friends said nothing was off, everything seemed normal, but he killed what would have been Daniel that night, or the wife if the fucking 82 degrees didn't matter. He killed one of them on Friday, killed one of them on Saturday, but based on the heat in the fucking room, the wife was fucking definitely killed first. Or second. So, there's just all kinds of fucking inconsistencies. And Chavo Guerrero was another wrestler. Chris was talking to him on Friday, and he said that there was a pounding at the door. And Chris was like, hey, I gotta go, hung up the phone. And then he called Chavo back later on and said, I love you, man. And he seemed really fucking somber and like sad. But he seemed normal before that. It's very fucking weird. Like, I wasn't there, but...
Right.
And I don't trust anything a fucking, an investigation... People go on site and investigate and then immediately fucking jump to conclude. I have an ex-girlfriend. I dated her in like fucking 7th grade. Okay. She was killed by her fiance on New Year's Eve in fucking, it was in Florida. She was at like, it was near Tampa. But they went to some fucking resort, and she actually called the cops saying that he hit her and shit, and she has marks all over her body and stuff like that. She literally has pictures. She took pictures of the marks on her. They hung up the phone or whatever, and then the cops literally passed him. He's going down the stairs. Cops are going up the stairs. They go in there. She's hanging from the shower with that much ground off of her ass. There's no sand walking from the door to the bathroom, but her feet are covered in fucking sand. Like, this motherfucker killed her and got away with it. And the cops, as soon as they got up there, said, suicide. It's the same type of shit that they did here, it seems like. Like, oh, we don't fucking feel like investigating. He killed them both. And then they blamed it on steroids, which... There was a little bit of testosterone in his system, but no roids. They said that they found steroids in the house, but there's no pictures, no record of any steroids found. They found low-level testosterone. It's just, there's so many fucking inconsistencies about the whole thing. It's bonkers, dude. like bonkers. And this was like a huge story. Like this dude, they don't even show him on wrestling. If ever all the things he achieved and shit, he's like blacklisted. You go on, well, it used to be WWE Network. If you went to one of his matches, every single match had chapter points, like Triple H versus The Rock. If Chris Benoit is fighting somebody on WWF Network, it'll say Triple H versus Superstar. Like, they don't even say his name anymore. Like, he's completely fucking blacklisted. And it's just fucking crazy. What do you got?
I guess, right, what would be motive, right, for somebody to take him out? That's my question here.
Oh, we're getting to that.
Oh, okay. I thought we were
No,
doing
we're
a video.
good.
You were kind of.
We'll hit that towards the end. But,
okay. Is there any? I guess I should wait to see. Never mind.
What? No, what was your question?
Is there any solid evidence that shows that it's not like, because everything you kind of mentioned there is all circumstantial. But is there anything solid that points in the other direction that they just chose to ignore, or like, you can't just say, hey, he was taken out without somebody's fingerprints, or you know what I mean, stuff like that. So
they didn't do any fucking DNA testing at all on regular shit. They tested the tape. Chris Benoit's, his fingerprints, his DNA weren't on the tape thing with the gag. There was a random knife underneath Daniel, the kid's bed. No fingerprints on it at all.
Also weird.
Yeah. There's just, the cops fucked it up completely. Big time.
Well,
yeah.
They're human too, Joseph.
Get the fuck out of here, dude. Man, there's just, yeah, man.
All right. Well, show me more then.
Okay. This is, where are we? Okay, so this is a guy that posted on Wikipedia before the bodies were found.
I was just reading about it, and some rumors came up, and I just
what were the rumors?
That his family was sick, or someone maybe died, like his wife perhaps, because he missed the pay-per-view.
Okay.
Mostly I kind of added fuel to the fire. It was really more of my own speculation.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. You're a fan. I mean.
Yeah.
I check the Mets sites all that.
Yeah, and I have no connection whatsoever.
Okay.
You just want the computer?
Yeah.
Are you going to search the house?
No need to search the house. Just the computer.
Is he in trouble?
No, I don't think so. All right. As I say, what it's created is a big frenzy.
That part I understand.
All right, because he posted before they found the bodies, before anybody knew anybody was dead.
You know what, I was thinking, because he's from Stanford, there might have been a concern that he had some connection.
Well, I'm sure.
The guy that posted on Wikipedia before the bodies were found said that Benoit killed his wife. He posted that before the bodies were found. He lived 5 minutes from WWE headquarters in Stamford, Connecticut.
Whoops. Somebody messed up.
Yeah. Here's more on that.
Surface, everybody knows that just about 5 minutes away from the WWE headquarters, a Wikipedia edit was made just about, some 4 to 8 hours before the bodies of Chris Benoit, his wife, and young son Daniel were discovered, that there was a Wikipedia edit made saying that Nancy Benoit had passed away, and as stemming from that death, that is why Chris Benoit did not show up to the pay-per-view that Sunday, Vengeance Night of Champions. Well, courtesy of Purple Sky 11 on YouTube, we now have the official chat logs from that chat room, and there was multiple, not just one, a handful of people saying that Benoit was some murderer, and he unalived Nancy Benoit. So as you can see in the highlighted by Purple Sky 11, you can see it says basically they were looking at her Wikipedia page, saw what it said, saw that she was deceased at this point in time before the bodies were discovered. Keyword before the
Look how many
bodies were
people are
discovered.
saying Benoit killed his wife, Benoit killed his wife.
And just look at how quick people are to jump gear and jump ship and call Benoit some murderer and this murderous unaliver. As you can see, they say that Benoit killed his wife. Benoit killed the wife. All these different things, all these different chats in this one chat room. And this is not something just being pulled out of the air. This is the actual chat logs that police share. I would absolutely love to hear you guys' thoughts and feelings on this one.
That's really weird, man.
Many people would just say it's a coincidence, like usual. Everything's just such a
That's
big
really
coincidence
weird.
when it comes to these 3 deaths.
So, yeah, just crazy shit, dude.
Okay.
So, on, I believe it was Saturday, which the wife would have, or however you do it, dude, the wife or the son was dead on Friday. That's what they say. They say the
Right.
wife, they say that the wife was killed on Friday, which is weird too, because you're going to kill your wife and your son's running around for a full fucking day. Just la-di-da, and then you're going to go kill your son too. Like, it doesn't make any fucking sense. But so
the math ain't mathin'.
Yeah, Chris Benoit leaves a voice message for his friend, and this is the voice message.
So before I get into the final voicemail that Chris
You
Benoit
turn it
would
up?
ever send to his friend Michael Parker,
Super
I
low.
would like to show you guys this transcript. Now, this is the transcript that the original poster of the video actually translated everything out to be. So this is what the person believes to have been said and going on in the background of the video. Because if you listen to the clip, just the original voicemail clip, without really knowing any of this information yet, this additional information, you can clearly hear voices in the background or some kind of commotion going on while Chris is talking on the phone, and Chris sounds very weird. He sounds very out of character. He sounds very shaken up. He sounds very scared. You know, whatever you want to make out of it. So I do highly suggest that you listen to this video with headphones on, because if you don't, it's going to kind of take away the whole purpose, because without them, you really can't hear anything going on in the back except for what Chris is saying to Michael in the voicemail.
Hey Parker, this has been Benoit again. It's about 5 to 2 in the afternoon. So I'm bullshit with you, man. Find out what happened. I was talking to one of the production crew guys on the flight home into Atlanta. He said you kind of got shafted over, and that really fucking sucks. But, you know, if there's anything I can do at all, man, please give me a call and let me know. And, you know, fuck, man, you know, nothing changed experience. Like, nothing should be better than experience, and you got that. It's like, you know, I'm talking shit right now. I don't know what the details are off the top of my head, but hope all's well with you, man, and just missed you the last couple of weeks. Wondering where you're at. I hope you're doing well. If you can, when you get the chance, give me a call. Take care, man. Hope all's well. Bye.
That's the last voicemail he left after killing his wife or kid.
He sounds drunk as shit.
There was no alcohol found in his system.
Sounds intoxicated.
But that the previous, before I started showing this that you see on screen right here, somebody transcribed this, used some kind of fucking software to jack up the background, and apparently this is the stuff that he heard in the background. I did hear stuff in the background. I didn't hear any of this stuff, obviously. But there was obviously somebody in the background or a TV in the background. You know what I mean? So he either wasn't alone or he's got the TV blasting while he's leaving a voicemail.
Right.
So.
Could be.
Yeah.
Circumstantial.
Yeah. This is, like I said, all of this is circumstantial. Nobody knows what the fuck happened, but it's for them to just jump to fucking conclusions and not really do an investigation and just say this dude killed his family because he's dead and he can't defend himself. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, with all of this evidence, say he didn't kill himself. With all this fucking evidence and shit, do you think that he's going to get convicted of this?
Right.
No fingerprints, no DNA.
Right. He'd be
weird. Yeah. This is a former LAPD investigator talking about this case.
Heard of, and maybe I'm incorrect, but I haven't heard of a suicide note or somebody that can say he actually talked to me, that was his voice, and he said he killed his wife and son. So far, I would be very suspicious that we don't have another party involved in this crime, and I'm not sure Chris Benoit even committed suicide. I would need, as an investigator, something in his own hand that I could absolutely compare, or something in his own voice, that a voice print could actually be established, because absent of that, an instant messaging or an email could have been written by anybody.
So yeah, that's a former LAPD investigator saying
He's not wrong.
I
Yeah.
ain't see shit. I ain't say shit.
Yeah, he's not wrong.
This is a former wrestler that knew Chris Benoit. I was friends with Chris Benoit, friends with Nancy Benoit. That was the wife, and he's on a podcast talking about it.
Tell me a little bit of your feelings about Chris Benoit, Vince McMahon, and Nancy Benoit.
Well, you see, now it's been 10 years since I've been, almost to the day, since I've been back to New Jersey, New York area. And I stand by what I said. First of all, if you just do the common sense to it, here's the common sense. If you know Chris Benoit like I did, and I met him in Calgary, there's no way he's going to kill the kid. He's a kid. And there's no way, first of all, if you use common sense, the kid was killed first. So you're telling me for 2 days, the kid lays there rotting, dead, and by 2 days you're starting to turn color and smell, and killed her, and then just stay there. It didn't make sense.
Also, Chris Benoit had dried blood on his face. They didn't test it. Not that, they probably knew it was his. But when he got there for the autopsy, the fucking blood was gone, wiped clean. Yep. How's that make sense? Who's one of the richest people in America?
Jeff Bezos. Bill Gates.
In 2007, who was one of the richest people in America?
Warren Buffett.
Vincent Kennedy McMahon.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
He was up there.
Really?
That guy that was just talking, he's in another video ranting about how Vince McMahon had an affair with Nancy and how he's the one that had it all done because he was worried that Daniel was his kid. But that's a whole fucking... That's why I didn't add it, because he was fucking nuts when he was saying it.
But also, did you see the pic? Like, I noticed it. I thought the kid had Down syndrome because his eyes were spread real far apart. And then I looked over at Chris, and his eyes are spread real far apart.
Yeah.
It was a dang giveaway. They're related, bro.
Oh, yeah. Dude. Yeah.
Those borderline Downey genes run hard.
Jeez.
I'm just saying, man. Honestly, if truth be told, I thought maybe Chris did do it because he didn't want to deal with the Downey kid. But then I looked at Chris again. I'm like, oh, Chris had the Downs too.
You're retarded.
So is never mind.
All right, you know who Jake the Snake Roberts is?
Of course, I remember Jake the Snake.
All right,
it's your cousin. Jake. Remember?
My stepbrother Jake.
Same thing.
Okay.
Your whole family's crazy, bro. You know what I mean?
You ain't gonna tell me.
That family tree be twisting and turning like a son of a bitch. I can't keep up. Go ahead. Your cousin, brother Jake. Got it. You're not from Fulton.
We're not incestuous, you fuck.
He's not from Alabama, Fulton. I'm just weird. That's fine.
All right. Let's just fucking play this fucking thing.
Keep it moving.
Here's Jake the Snake Roberts.
Story. And when I go to heaven or hell, wherever I go, and if God looks at me and I say, God, devil, did he do these horrible things that the public and the press or whoever has said he did that? You know what I'm gonna tell them? Screw you, you're a liar. I don't believe that. Not the man I know.
He literally said, if God or the devil tell him that Chris Benoit did do it, he'd call them fucking liars because there's no way Chris did it.
He did it in very dramatic fashion, though, and I applaud that from a 50-year-old
man. He knew Chris. Like, these people know Chris, so they're going to be more emotional about it. You know.
Hell with that. You're a liar.
All right. Here's another former wrestler.
Sorry, I get into this shit, man.
We were at a SmackDown show, and Chris, we were at catering, and we were eating, and Chris sat with myself, and it was me, Booker T, Benoit, and Chris's son, the one that passed away. I won't say the one that Chris killed. I don't see Chris killing that boy. If you could have seen those two together, it was one of the most beautiful things. I mean, he loved that child so much. I mean, I just can't put in through my brain that the Chris that I knew, could kill that little boy.
No, people do. I'm not saying he did, but people do weird things, man.
For sure.
Humans are strange.
Yes, but these are people that knew him directly, knew the kid directly, and then with all of the inconsistencies and the fucking investigation and all that bullshit.
Yeah.
Added together. Here's one more wrestler.
Okay.
Benoit, that's real. You know what I mean? But the thing with Benoit is a can of worms that he didn't do it, man. I'll go to my guy. I know the guy.
So we're recording. So.
Going?
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
okay.
If you saw any of that, and I thought it hard. I think that happened for a reason why I was out. I actually hit the back of my head on the bottom turnbuckle on the steel part. I had to cancel a lot of shows, about 9-10 days there. I did. And that's right when it happened. It really is. Because I couldn't believe it. That was the biggest shock when I saw that. And, here's the thing. If you do him, man, he's paid hundreds of dollars, thousands of dollars just to get off the plane for a few minutes to spend with his family. You know what I mean? With his wife and kid. I saw the Sandman was telling me he was with him 2-3 nights before he died and all that. And all he talked about was his wife and kid. That's why I was just blown away. If they knew him, you never saw any side of that of him at all. Never had a clue of it because he didn't do it.
There's tons more wrestlers. I could have pulled a shit ton of them. A lot of the wrestlers dance. A lot of wrestlers dance around saying he didn't do it, but they're pretty much saying the same thing. I can't fucking believe there's no fucking way. Like literally, any wrestling interview you see of a wrestler, they will say that same shit.
Right.
Except for this next guy. So back in WCW, which is Chris Benoit went from WCW to WWF. WWE at the time, I believe. What are you doing?
WCW.
Oh.
Did anybody ever come out like this?
There was a guy... No, but you could be the first. That's weird. There was a booker. He was a wrestler. He was a wrestler and a booker. A booker is someone who decides who wins the matches. You know what I mean?
No, but okay, go ahead.
Wrestling is scripted.
Hey, I watch real sports.
Just like NFL. Okay. No, you don't. You watch scripted sports. Every sport you watch is just as scripted as WWF.
Okay.
100%.
All right.
So this guy was the booker, and he had a wife named Nancy.
Pelosi?
Nope. It was Nancy Sullivan at the time.
All right.
He made a storyline where his wife, Nancy, his manager, leaves him for Chris Benoit. In real life, Nancy Sullivan left Kevin Sullivan for Chris Benoit in real life. This dude booked his wife to leave him for this guy, and she really leaves him for that guy.
Well, isn't that something special? Talk about foresight.
His ex-wife before Nancy.
Uh-huh. Who'd she leave?
Also dead.
Why, what?
His wife, his other wife.
I heard you, but is
also dead.
That's a little interesting.
Yep.
There's a little cookie crumbling.
Yep.
Or no, let me do that one over. That's a little suspicious.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
I got it right.
Also, this fucking guy is part of the Church of Satan. Yeah.
I wondered where I recognized him from.
High-ranking member of the Church of Satan. That's why this fucking moron has this stupid fucking paint on his face for an interview. Because he's a fucking clown.
I thought it was a tattoo.
No, it's not a tattoo.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, this piece of shit is part of the Church of Satan. And let's hear what he has to say.
Let's hear that.
Was so intense that I have no ill will to Chris because I wasn't with her for 8 months.
Right.
Okay. if anybody told me it was going to be him because he had just had a child, second child, I never thought what was going to happen would happen. And I still don't, nobody knows what happened. Those 3 people are gone.
Right.
I just know that I know her mother very well, and I don't think her mother and father have had a night's sleep. Neither did the Benoit family have a night's sleep.
Right.
He was a student of the game. He might have been too hard on himself. I've heard other people talk. I heard Jericho, and I heard Bulldog's kid talk. That one time he screwed up a thing and he did 50 squats. He's always chewing on that thing. Nobody ever saw Chris Benoit dress. I never had a problem with Chris until the very end when I put the belt on him. Somehow they thought I was going to, he somehow he thought I was going to screw him, putting the world title on him.
How so?
I don't know.
I'm going to pause it before he goes into other stuff. Chris Benoit told WCW, which means told Kevin Sullivan, Eric Bischoff, the heads of WCW, don't put the belt on me. I'm going to WWF. Don't put the belt on me. I don't want it. I'm leaving. He's saying that he told Chris he's going to put the belt on him, and like he'll go more into it, but Chris Benoit was leaving WCW when they literally put the belt on him one night, and he was in WWF the next night. Literally. He literally left the night after they gave him the title because he told him, don't fucking put the belt on.
But do you know how hard it was? I brought
guy's
Sid
interview
Vicious
about
in the room, that's 6'9", and I said to him, you're going to lose to Chris Benoit tonight? And he said, I'm losing to a midget. I said,
those are his exact words?
Yeah. I said, listen, the kid deserves it. He's worked hard. I want to put the belt on him, and it's an olive branch from me.
Right.
Came out of the ring. I said, congratulations. I think you're going to be a great champion, but eventually I'm going to take the belt off you with Nash. I think that will draw a lot of money. And then they were gone.
What was your first reaction? I mean, of course, like shock, but...
Teddy Long called me, and he said, you know, what happened? I said, was it a gas leak? That was my first
Right, it's natural to think that.
I couldn't believe what happened. I mean, something snapped somewhere, and I don't want to talk ill about the dead.
Right.
We don't know, you know, supposedly brain damage.
Concussions, I've heard, but that's hard to swallow sometimes.
Something happened between him and her, and who knows what happened.
Right.
All the neighbors said nothing was wrong during the cookout, but he killed her that night. It's crazy. And that whole story he just said was fucking obvious. He didn't go congratulate him, say, we're going to put you in a fucking title feud against Kevin Nash and you're going to lose the belt to him. He told him he didn't fucking want it. Like, there's multiple interviews of people saying, yeah, Chris Benoit was fucking out. He said, don't give me the belt. Eric Bischoff, the head of WCW, says that Chris Benoit said, don't put the belt on me, I'm leaving. And they put it on him anyway because they were hoping he would stay after they put the belt on him. And he wasn't. He left. But that's the... he said that the storyline that where his wife leaves him, they were already separated for 8 months, right? You heard him say that?
Yeah.
All right. Here's an interview like a month before he died. Because this guy just died in 2024, Kevin Sullivan.
What about all these fools out there that claim that you're somehow the true culprit?
Well, it's this way. Conspiracy theory people, and I believe there's some conspiracies, but because he was such a fabulous wrestler, you don't want to believe it. You know, you want to look at something else. And the one that gets me is, well, he's in the Church of Satan. Come on, I go to church, I'm a Catholic, I go to church on Sundays and discuss shit with my priest. But if they have to believe it, It doesn't bother me because maybe that's how they sleep at night. Maybe they don't want to see their hero as what that happened.
Okay, so that's a different interview. There's another interview where he says that they were separated for 6 months before he did that, and then he changes it to 8. But that's just 2 months, whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think he did it.
You think this guy did it?
After all of my reading and fucking dude,
Okay.
there's so many. I tried searching for a video of like an actual wrestler that has talked to Benoit. The only thing I could find is tons of videos of regular people talking about other people saying shit. But there's tons of videos where people say that he actually threatened Chris Benoit and said he was going to kill him.
Oh.
Also, there are tons of videos. I don't know why I don't have one in this fucking shit. There's tons of videos where Chris Benoit was paranoid. Like, he was worried somebody was gonna hurt him. Like, he was like, he would go and get it. There was a fan who said there's fans who go to every fucking show. And there was a fan that said every time Chris Benoit would go to his car, before he would get in his car, he'd fucking look around and shit, like a month before this all happened. So either he's paranoid and going crazy and he's the one that did it, or he's paranoid that someone's actually fucking going to kill him.
Yeah, that's the flip side of that coin is he's fucking paranoid. And because he's losing his mind, right? So.
Yeah.
Which also could be.
But also, he was fine to everybody else, but when he was alone, he was like making sure no one's fucking around, you know?
Well, that sounds kind of crazy.
It does, but if someone's trying to kill you, are you gonna check your fucking back?
Yeah, but I'm not going to only do that when I'm alone. I'm gonna be checking my back all the fucking time.
Oh no, but I'm saying when he's with other people in a wrestling building and shit like that, he's not worried that someone's gonna come kill him. But when he's walking to his car and shit, yeah, there's a way better chance that someone's gonna off you.
Well, that's why I keep that thing on me. I ain't worried. I keep that thing on me. Try me, ho.
For sure.
Anyways.
Yeah, that's all I got. What do you think happened with the evidence I've given you? Obviously, you didn't delve too deep into it beforehand. Do you think that he killed his wife and child? Do you think Kevin Sullivan did it? Do you think Vince McMahon had these fucking people killed?
You asked a lot of questions right there.
I just want to know your final thesis for the episode, basically.
I think somebody killed his wife and kid.
Okay.
Definitely. I think somebody killed them. I think somebody...
That doesn't tell me anything.
I think somebody killed him. Whether it be somebody else or him himself, somebody killed him.
So you're not answering the question about the episode. So the whole episode is pointless because we don't have an opinion from you.
Can I get there?
You're not getting there.
Jesus Christ.
Christmas.
Yeah, that. There's a lot to unpack, but I think somebody definitely killed the wife and kids. And that someone is probably not Chris Benoit.
So you don't think he did it?
No, I think somebody else did it. It's just fucking weird. But that being said, I do lean towards conspiracy. So a lot of circumstantial evidence though. And I think if there was something super solid, they would have brought it to light. It's weird that they didn't.
I don't think they would.
No, I do.
I don't think they give any fucks.
I have faith in policing.
You have dumbness in policing.
I know police officers that are smart. So.
I know police officers who are fucking fuckfaces and don't even know the law.
Oh, you know a police officer who... Anyway.
Yeah, dude, like cops are fucking retards. They're just like everybody else. They're fucking retards and they don't learn the law. They just learn what they're fucking told and that's it. Sorry if you're a fucking cop. I support you, but not if you're a fuckface.
I support cops, not fuckface cops.
I support cops that actually help people. The fucking traffic cops that pull you over because you're fucking going fucking 75 and a fucking 65. You can go blow a fucking dog for a quarter.
I suggest you charge more than that.
Ew, I suggest you don't do it. All right, so do you think it was possibly this Satan worshiper?
Could be. Could have been him. Here's the thing, though.
2 weeks.
Hold on. Oh, go. No, go ahead. Go.
2 weeks before he died,
Mm-hmm.
he was going to do a big announcement too, and then he died and didn't do the big announcement. Maybe he was on his deathbed, knew he was going to die. It was like, maybe I should tell people, and then decided not to.
Talk about a cliffhanger.
I liked Chris Benoit. He was one of my favorites back then.
I'm saying he did it. You see what I'm saying? Chris.
Yeah.
Anyways, the thing about this guy though that I noticed, he's got a Boston accent.
So what?
You know what?
The mob?
No, well, there is that there, but you know what else is in Boston?
Gay ass Tom Brady? I don't know.
The best goddamn cornbread I've ever had in my entire life. Talk about fucking cornbread. Oh my God. If you like Godspeed.
You've reached the offices of the Godspeed podcast. We are currently closed. Please leave your information and someone will return your call within 24 business days. Thank you.
Because he killed his wife? Well, if you was fucking his wife, you wouldn't have killed her. So here's what we need to do. Vince, you need to take a DNA test because it's 50-50. It could be your kid. The day before, Nancy went down and talked to Dr. Aston, Dr. Phil Aston in Fayetteville. And then the day after, the day of the murder, Chris went down. It went down then. That night is when the murders happened. So either you did them, or you're telling me that Nancy told Chris that you guys were fucking, because you know you fucked her, Vince. You fucked her many times. I shouldn't be using the word F, but I'm just telling it the way it is. Made love? It could be made love. You got a wife, Linda, don't you? You having an affair with the guy's wrestler, Chris Benoit, the best wrestler in WWE. They say they had the brain of a 90-year-old man, and you were still letting him wrestle? Do you believe that, Vince?